In this video, we will learn what is the forfeit regime and when we can use it. Who can apply? Who starts a new activity with a revenue smaller than 65,000 euro per year? Or somebody that has already an activity up and running with an income lower than this limit. With this regime, the tax on revenue is a flat tax of 15% that substitutes the progressive RPF taxation. This means that the RPF income type is zero. Then it can be also used for another type of income in parallel while are you running the forfeit regime. But you don't pay really 50% of taxes on the entire revenue, because you pay this tax only after having subtract your activity cost. Moreover, the activity costs are not real, they're on an estimated base.
Okay, in this document we can have a look at the estimate cost that the tax agency allows you when you want to use this forfeit regime. This is published in an official website. I will put this in the description below the video. And this is the official gazette. As I said before, in this regime you don't have real costs, so you cannot deduct your real cost. You can only deduct a certain amount of fixed cost, which is a forfeit cost. And here in this table we have different percentage here, and this depends on the type of sector, and this is the code, activity code. So based on your activity code, based on what you want to do in Italy, this is the type of income and the type of cost for your freelancer activity. And these two, so the most common one, for example, if you are an IT developer, or if you are a web designer, you work online, you are a digital nomad and you want to set up in Italy your physical residence, you might use either this group of code activity, either this group of code activity. The difference is that this percentage, it tells you it's the percentage of the imposable income. 78% here and 67% here is the amount of your imposable income. It means this regime is very useful if you don't have a lot of cost. And let's have an example about it. So imagine having a 50,000 euro revenue per year. You have to subtract this revenue with a forfeit deduction based on the coefficient. As we saw in the official gazette, there are several coefficients based on your activity. When we do this subtraction, so we calculate the percentage, we know the certain amount, we have the contribution imposable, which means that on this amount of money we have to subtract the social contribution. And you can either subtract fixed social contributions, or you can multiply social contributions, and you get after that the imposable income. So you first reduce your forfeit deduction, then you reduce your social contributions, and then you get the imposable income. And only after these two subtraction you will multiply the imposable income for 50%, and then you get the tax to pay. But let's verify with numbers. So imagine you went through the table that we saw before in the official gazette, and your activity it fall into coefficient 67%, which is quite a general one. So first of all, you calculate 67% of 50,000 and you get this amount of money. So you have 33,500 euro. On this amount you calculate your contribution, and for general type of activity such as freelancer or IT developers, web designers, the social contribution in Italy is 25.72%. Sorry, this is a percentage, just to make it clear. You get this amount of money of social contribution to pay. I know in Italy is not really a low amount of money. The social contribution in Italy is the pain point, it's the pain part. After that, you have 33,500 euro, and you subtract with this percentage, and you get real imposable income. And this will be multiplied for the flat tax, and this is the tax to pay. Your social contribution plus your tax to pay, you pay in total 12,000 euro, 300 euro, 48, and this is set as 25% of social contribution and taxes combined. So this is a fiscal pressure of both.
This regime is based on your activity, no matter what your real costs are. And this is simplify a lot the accountability. Now, when you cannot use this regime, two most big constraints are there. When the previous year you worked as a self-employed, making a bigger revenue, than 65,000 euro, when the previous year you worked as an employee making a bigger revenue than 30,000 euro per year. There are some other conditions you must fulfill which are less problematic, since in general it's difficult not might fall into. This video is not over. As you can see from the cover, I sponsored a video with a promising 5% of tax for freelancer, non 15. Why? Because if you respect other two conditions, your activity will become a startup one. Which are the two extra conditions then? In the past 3 fiscal years, you should not have carried out any other freelancer or self-employed activity. The second constraint is you should not keep working as a freelancer from your previous employer. If you just respect these two extra conditions, your flat tax will drop from 15 to 5% only. And all the rules about the calculation remains the same. Let's have another example.
This is when you also comply with the other two constraints. Okay, up to the moment of calculating the social contribution, basically nothing changed, especially if you keep the same coefficient of 67%. Your imposable income will be only multiplied for 5, and that means 1,244 euro tax to pay. And social contribution and taxes combined, it's only 20%. Again, it's quite good for a regime, especially for the first 5 years, because this 5% here, it's available for 5 fiscal years. Then you have to move to 15% flat rate.
That's all. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe the channel, and if you have any questions, please drop me an email and I can provide you a consultation. I can check if you can fulfill all the requirements and the constraints. This particular regime is very easy to manage. Basically, the cost of your content is very limited. Everything can be managed online, and I think it could be a very nice option for those who want to use Italy as a base and then travel around the world, such as digital nomad, for example. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. See you the next time. Bye.